Welcome to GIMP Learning Center. GIMP is a powerful 2D weapon. You can use this 2D software to paint concept art or make textures for your 3D model. First, to familiarize yourself, open up the tool 001 on the student folder by going to the File, Open, D folder, Student folder, GIMP, GIMP 001. For starters, we will learn about the tools that can help you master the use of GIMP. Let's learn the basic by moving these red colored shapes to the assigned spots. The two most important things in GIMP are the toolbox and the layer. Think of layer as a piece of paper. This hexagon is one piece of paper. You can unhide or hide by clicking the eye picture right here. The size of the paper is indicated by the bounding box on the canvas, right here. Use one of the drawing tools, like the brush or the pencil, and draw on the box. Notice that you cannot draw past the bounding box of the paper. You can undo using Ctrl Z. You will understand more about layer as we go on. For now, move the hexagon by using the Move tool. Move it to the assigned spots. Use the Move tool again to move the rectangle. We can rotate using the Rotate tool. Notice that the hexagon gets rotated. We want the rectangle to be the one that is rotated. Therefore, we need to change into the rectangle layer instead of the hexagon layer. Press Cancel. Click on the rectangle layer and use the Rotate tool to rotate the rectangle. Notice that you cannot also rotate the rectangle. This is because the rectangle layer is locked. Click on the brush icon next to Lock to unlock the rectangle so you can modify the layer. This lock button will be useful when you have a lot of layer and don't want to accidentally modify the wrong layer. Move it to the right spot. For this flower shape-like object, we want to give it the same color as the rest of the shape. You can use the color picker. This one is the color picker. Select one of the color and notice that the color here changed into red. Use the fill bucket. Change your layer into the flower layer and color it red. Now, move the shape into the assigned spot. Continue where we left off. Move the half circle onto the circle spot. We can duplicate the circle layer to make the other half of the circle. Select the circle layer, go to Layer, Duplicate Layer. Notice that it has produced a circle copy. Use the Flip tool to flip the duplicated circle. Move it again. Go to the star layer and duplicate the layer twice. Now you will have star, star copy, and star copy number 1. Move the star into the assigned layer. The layer order will affect the star position in the canvas. You can rearrange the layer by click and dragging on this layer area. Assign the layer order correctly, with the stop star being on the front and the middle one being on the middle. Do it again for the heart. Duplicate the layer, not on the star, but on the heart layer. Rotate the heart using the rotate tool. And last but not least, you can use the scale tool to scale the heart smaller. Once you are done, use the crop tool and remove the bottom empty canvas by selecting the top half of the canvas. Press enter. To save, go to File, Save As, and save it on the Student Save Files folder. Today, we will learn how to color a black and white pictures. Open up GIMP 004 folder and pick one of the file to be colored. We will give this picture 4 colors: the sky, the water, the land, the ground, and the boat. First, let us duplicate the original layer. Add a layer mask by right-clicking on a duplicate layer. Use the white full opacity. Duplicate it once more so we don't have to keep making a new layer mask. Now click on the image, not the white square, but the image, this image. We can start coloring by giving it colorize. Let's start with the boat color. Once you pick the right one, click on the white square layer. Invert it. Go to color, invert. It will turn back to no color. But when you paint with white, it will show you the color. You can paint with black to delete the color. Start painting on the boat. Use black color to delete the color. Duplicate layer with the mask again. Click on the image. Let's give color to the ground now. I want it to be dark. After you find the color, click on the white layer to invert, and you can start coloring. Use the selection tool to help us with the coloring. Example, I use the free select tool and select the ground. If we have this selected, we cannot get past through the marching ants when coloring. So it is safe to use a big brush. See, the water doesn't get colored. Let's duplicate the mask again and learn about gradient color on the next part. Let's give the sky a color. Colorize and give it a blue color. Once again, select the white layer mask and go to invert. Select the sky using the selection tool to help us color the sky. Now we have to paint it. Usually we are using brush. For this case, we don't want to use the paintbrush but use the gradient. We want the sky to have color but fade when reaching the ocean. Click and drag from top to bottom. The range between the blue and the gray are based on how far you drag when using the gradient tool. See that this is blue to gray. Let's do it again for the water. Duplicate layer, colorize the image, invert the white square after you colorize the image. Oh, wrong one. This is when you invert the picture instead of the white layer. This is when you invert the white layer. Now we can select the water along with the sky. To blend the color a little bit, use the gradient and drag from bottom to top. Bottom to around the center of the ocean. We'll keep the little gray area. The gradient will give you a nice color variance. Last, you can use the unused mask layer to further blend the color if you want. Do the same technique. Go to colorize, give a color, invert the white layer, blend it using the mode, and you can arrange the opacity. Save as, so you can edit it again in the future. Export if you want to save it into an image.